Hello, hello, and welcome back to yet more CL Jolly League. Today we have some fun matchups. We've got Girl versus NSG. Of course, we're going to get to see Girl's twist gimmick in action. Whether they manage to take a game with it, whether they don't, we'll get to see NSG's power level from how clean they are against Girl's sort of more troll game, and you know how good they are against Girl when Girl are trying. And then afterwards we've got Null8 versus TFL, an extremely important matchup. Apparently TFL sitting in a place where they essentially need to get at least a draw here to be in the running for playoffs. If they don't get at least a draw, they are confirmed out of playoffs. They only have this and one other match left, I believe. Whereas Null8 still fighting for potentially a really nice spot in the playoffs. Null8 winning here would put them one game left to go in second place. A draw here would put them going second for other teams. But, you know, a win almost certainly gets them in. Very good point to note, very important one. Girl as well, actually not played that many games so far, I believe. Series, an important one for them. One for NSG Niflheim as well. This is their final game. They want a strong showing, final set of game shown. So they want a strong showing here to try and secure that first place seed. We have what's the most exciting matchup in the chat right now, so make sure you put a vote in. It's our first one where essentially NSG fighting for first place, Girl fighting to make sure that they do get into playoffs. Up later as well, we've got them against Pogmore, which should confirm one of the two, which could confirm Girl and deny Pogmore, or you know, things open. Later on, also, yeah, so that game will be coming up later today. That's what it says 6 p.m. there, but it actually means 7 p.m. It's not 6 p.m. It's 7 p.m. Change that. I'll go in and change that now. In fact, don't get confused. Yep. I will give a warning. I am going to be quite harsh to NSG in this game. Not because I'm being biased, but just because they are complaining that they couldn't learn anything from game one. I'm expecting a perfect game from them. And if it's not a perfect game, well, if I was their coach, I'd be very annoyed at them saying that they had nothing to learn from the game. Because realistically, you should expect to learn something. Might not be leaning for it. But yeah, I mean, we'll go straight into the games. Get the games rolling, we'll get them going. NSG versus Girl. Won't spoil too much. Apart from saying NSG thought they could not learn much from this game. And it's Girl's troll game, so expect kind of fun. Don't forget to vote in the most exciting matchup poll in the chat. Make sure you vote there. But going into game one, Girl versus NSG. Girl with their gimmick this time. Looks like they've picked 5 champions, usually played in the jungle, to play in all of their lanes and positions. They've got that Jarvan up top, bit off meta, not that much anymore, but can still be played. Karthus in the jungle for I Won't Type, one of his champions that he really likes to play. Preston's playing Lee Sin mid, you know, going back to last season. And then Zabutor, Troll, Zoe have Rengar, Ivan bot lane, one that's not been seen in quite a while. Also see there is a smite on Ivan, not with spellbook. Interesting. See spellbook. There's some shenanigans that go on. Meanwhile, on the other side for NSG, SSD in the top lane has Sion, got Lekka in the jungle, Poppy. Jovi has Galio mid lane, so expect a lot of roaming. I'm Your Joy has the Jinx AD carry, and Tactical has I always forget her name, Renata support, that's it. So I mean, I can't tell what happened in the ban phase here, but I'm not entirely sure how it's ended up being a very strong bot lane. Very annoying to play against just later into the game. See how the game pans out as we press play and go into game one versus NSG. Though of course it's very likely expect NSG to win this one. Girl are playing their little bit more of a troll comp. It's possible they can win these ones, of course. They've tried with, I think so far they've played. Well, this is their last one, so they've played already 5 top laners, 5 mid laners, 5 AD carries, and 5 supports. Oh no, they haven't. There's still one left to go, but I'm not sure if they have left. I know they've done some. If they've done AD carries, so maybe we'll see AD carries. I think they've done top laners. Oh no, they've done AD carries. They've done supports. This is jungle. Maybe they're working their way up. We might see top laners for the final. Anyway, NSG going for an early invade up towards the top side, wanting to make sure that Karthus maybe won't be able to get that blue buff, but they're not actually going to spot anything out. There's no wards put down. They just use their red trinkets. Most of them taking backs. The Karthus will be able to be given this blue buff. Interesting enough, you can see TrollZoe is going for the steal away on the enemy blue buff. I mean, it's quite an interesting strategy. You know, really annoying for the enemy enemy jungler not to have that extra buff to do. Because it's already taken away. Will actually be spotted out by NSG. They're putting the question mark pings down. They know that the blue buff is gone. If they think about it, they should know from the speed that it was the Ivan smiting it away. We'll have to wait and see if Lekka changes up the pathing going for the Raptors. Quite a smart one there, just going, hey, I'm going to need these Raptors. Joy and Tactical just playing a little bit far back, allowing the Rengar and the blue buff Ivan to, you know, farm up a little bit. So we start to see a little bit of the trouble of Rengar Ivan. They can engage really well onto these minions and onto the enemy, but they don't really have that early kill pressure. That's a tower shot actually taken by Zabator, and he'll be taken a little bit low. Might have to go for an early back here. Not really what you want. Nice buffering there from both top laners to just get knockups. SSD getting a little bit better of the trades, but it looks like O'Neal getting a little bit better of the farming at the moment. Oh. You know, you expect Karthus will farm up a lot quicker than the Poppy can. So it's just scaling a little bit into the game. TrollZoe probably going to try and get that cannon there. TrollZoe going for the cannon. Cannon's picked up by Zabator. Is going down. I Won't Type is here to shadow his bot lane. Which is very good for them. I mean, essentially what's happening is Zabator will be waiting to get his first back. Most likely 750 gold should be that break point where he can go and get the Dirk and then try something. Ooh, Zabator could be in a little bit of trouble. Joy missing with the chompers there. I Won't Type and TrollZoe are here though. Try and go in for the damage on this Jinx. There is a lot of damage on the Karthus if it can be hit. Zabator jumping in on top of the Jinx. Jinx taken incredibly low. Flashing forwards is taken down, but the instant first blood over, and it does bring back the Jinx. Yeah, the power of Renata there. You see Jinx actually dying first, being revived because of the W, meaning that first blood goes over to the side of NSG as opposed to the side of Girl. I'd never considered before how stupidly kind of broken that interaction is, that in bot lane fights, Renata just makes it way more likely that you're going to get the first blood over your opponent. Because even if you die first, as long as you can pick up the kill and revive, you get the first blood, not them. Or as long as you can kill before you go down again, you get the first blood. So, kind of stupid, but... There we go. Interestingly enough, Zabator actually picks up the pickaxe. Going in for a trade. The chompers are thrown behind. He's in a lot of trouble. Does walk into the chompers there. Will just be taken down. And we see the problem there is... And now I'm Your Joy just going in Renar's incredibly strong of a champion here. And Zabator overestimating his damage quite badly. Can't get the kill there. Ends up giving a kill over the Jinx, which is very unfortunate. Very unfortunate for them. So I mean, this bot lane here now should pretty much be able to get the push when they like to. The Galio with the extra range should be able to get the push into the Lee Sin. Actually, back when Lee Sin was meta, he would of course get the push because his E play the wave a lot quicker. That's not the case anymore. But I mean, we could expect to see Poppy going for something, going for a dragon, early dragon. There's a potential gank in the mid lane though. Here's the W put down by the Karthus, taunt by Jovi, and he will just be able to punch away from that one. And so far, I mean, so good. You know, NSG, they're holding up their own. They're showing that even if there's unexpected picks, we're fine. Oh, but there's an engage in the top lane. Ult's coming out. O'Neal uses the Cataclysm, but it won't really do anything. He doesn't have Flag and Drag to get away. Interesting it's sign damage. But there's the taunt in the mid lane into the stun against the wall. Preston in a lot of trouble. Will flash kick Jovi back into the tower, but our shot was not enough to secure the kill on the Galio. And a really nice hold on the Poppy W to get the max amount of value out of that. Well, Zoe now in a lot of trouble being rooted up, will be forced to flash the wall. Not going great for girls, suddenly starting to fall apart a little bit. That'll be a big wave in the mid lane that will be missed. The question marks, pings coming out on the Karthus. They know where he is, know that he's backing. Interestingly, Poppy does path towards the top lane, wanting to farm up more, as opposed to trying to pick up the early Drake. Which I think, considering your main carry on your team here is a Jinx, it's a Hextech Drake. That's 6% attack speed. Sure, it doesn't sound like a lot, but when you know you're a Jinx, you've got the lethal tempo to stack attack speed even more. It's just so impactful. Throwing in Saboteur here. I'm not sure if they entirely know the best way to use this combo. Essentially, oh, they're going in though onto Tactical. Tactical being taken incredibly low. Will be taken out, but can they get the return kill and revive him? Yes, they can. Alchozo is in a lot of trouble. Will be taken down. And so far, Renata 2. League of Legends 0. Oh my god, the revive. It's just disgusting. It's essentially a zillion ults. Like level 2. Trades up in the top lane now. Arthur's flashing away as well as the Cataclysm being used. SSD is jumping out, but Preston's there to pick that up. Jovi now forced to flash across the wall. SSD might try and take someone down, but Bell will just stop that happening. Cholzo in a lot of trouble here. There's the entrance coming out, and the tree has been cut down. That's a double taunt going out. Lekka will pick up O'Neal quite quickly. Tactical, yet again, in a lot of trouble. They won't be able to pick up the kill that time to revive. But the auto attacks from the Jinx with the lethal tempo will outdo that of the Rengar. Rengar here is going for the more sort of wave clear build by picking up the team at first, which is fine, but when you're trying to fight this much early, you sort of would expect more of an assassination build, something that you know you're going to try and pop the enemy team. Overall, so far, not too much you can fault from trying their best. Few small missteps. I won't type actually did pick up the Rift Herald for free. It is worth noting. Though, you could say NSG with a bit of map misplay there, allowing the Karthus to be able to get the Herald. Oh, and that's roots up. Shield will come out to help keep the Rengar alive, but he's in a lot of trouble. The auto attack's coming down. We'll try and trade it back, but doesn't have the damage. The thing I will say is the team fight is so much better from NSG here. They are finally going for that first Drake, and they should be able to easily pick this one up. They know the Karthus was top lane, showing that yeah, we do have some macro. They're going for that they go for that pick up the early Drake. You know, attack speed really nice, especially for the Jinx. Also quite nice just for the Scion as well to have a little bit more speed up those attacks a tiny bit. No Preston is here. Not going to go for the kill, not knowing where the enemy team is. Preston jumping in, just doing a little bit of damage before jumping away again. Although we will clear that ward. A lot of damage into Lekka actually. I won't type. Being able to do a hell of a lot. And overall the gold lead is about 3,000 to the side of NSG so far. The real problem is that for Girl is that this is all on the Jinx. That is basically where NSG want it. They want a lot of gold on the Jinx. They probably want some gold. In this situation, it's nice to have gold on Renata as well. Some on the Galio just to split your damage portfolio so you have a bit of magic damage. And the Renata has a better chance of keeping Jinx alive because if all your gold's on the Jinx, of course, and Jinx dies, you're in a lot of trouble. Fortunately, Renata's W is extremely good for this. That's half health off of the Jinx with 2 Karthus Qs. They're going for the trade. Karthus could be in some trouble here. There's 4 versus 2 under the tower. There's the ultimate from the Jinx. It will go wide, but I won't type. It's so much trouble. We'll just get taken down. Labator now looking for a potential jump. Will jump on towards Dectagle, but the ult from the Renata just interrupts. And he will be taken down. Ult from Karthus not enough there to pull together and pick that up. Well played from NSG, and they will be able to pick up first tower as a result of this. Eventually. I think that's an interesting one. They definitely could have ended up giving a lot of that gold over solo to the Jinx, but it seems like they want to speed up the tempo of the game a little bit. So just forcing down that tower. Now we'll have to see how they play around this. You can see Troll Zoe is actually on the Ivan, being a nuisance now and then going and taking away those buffs. Did take away the Poppy's red buff, making sure she can't get it. So Poppy struggling a little bit for the CS. Those camps that, you know, are really high value are just being taken away. Now, Lekka go. Sorry, going in for a gank here. That'll be an easy pickup against Preston. Now, I won't type in a lot of trouble. Forced to flash away across the wall. It's actually putting trades onto Jovi. Jovi taking a lot of damage from these Ws. Although he will miss the Q. There's a flash over the wall from Lekka. Thinks he can 1v1 the Karthus, but that's not a very tanky Poppy. 1 Q from the Karthus trades back the entirety of the damage done to him. And NSG have all come together in this mid lane, but looks like they want to take the backs. That leaves Jinx alone, but will Girl be able to recognize it? Oh, Rengar came out and did cancel some of the backs. They're jumping on towards the Jinx. They're trying to lock Jinx in, but a flashback and the Berserk comes out, and that's 1 down already. I won't type. Will get taken out as well. I'm your joy in potentially a bit of trouble, but there's no Karthus ult to follow up just yet. There's a jump in. The Jinx is down. That's a big shutdown on towards the Lee Sin. He's now trying to trade in. There's a kick away. Tactical will be able to try and keep himself alive. Ends up getting taken down though. Zavator on the back here can't really do too much. Has the Titanic Hydra at the moment, but just the Titanic Hydra doesn't have all that much AD or AP to start getting that bone necklace completed. I wonder if we can actually see. I think it will probably be the enemy bot lane that the bone necklace is complete for. It doesn't actually say. That's interesting. But they're going, forcing in this mid lane tower, which is well played from NSG. Jovi, though, overstepping, is going to get taken out from this in the end, or maybe not. A really nice Aerofrost there to keep himself alive. And he's running away, but does he know that there's no cone there? No, but did not realize it's now turning around into O'Neal. The taunt means O'Neal will take that kill. 600 gold into the pocket of the Jarvan. I can see that the Drake is actually being started up by NSG's bot lane, but do they realize that Karthus is just across the wall here, and Girl are trading at Tross map as well? They're going to potentially get up to 2 objectives here. They force the enemy bot lane away from the Drake, and they take it, and that's just a big misplay from NSG. They lose 2 objectives at once for nothing. They even leash it for free for Girl. And you can understand them wanting to up the tempo of the game, but that's not the way to do it. You just slowed the game down by 5 minutes by giving over that Drake for free. And if they just waited for Lekka, they would have been fine. They could have forced the fight off the back end of that, but with the Jinx on half health, they didn't feel comfortable going for the 2v2 against the Karthus Lee Sin. There's the first real point of learning NSG could take away from this one is that is a really bad map play. Not knowing where the enemy jungler is and just trying to do the dragon with your bot lane when they sold a really big win condition that you could be moving towards early. All they had to do was wait 10 seconds maybe extra before starting up, 20 seconds for Lekka to come close. The whole game was made a clown fiesta by Girl. Hey, I mean, just because they're playing it how they're playing it doesn't mean that you can't play it cleanly. Saying you can't learn anything and then giving over 3 Drakes means clearly you weren't playing it perfectly. But the Cataclysm does come out, O'Neal just being too far in the enemy jungle. That will be one taken down. You just started clowning as well because you can't. What, because you can't play cleanly? I'd say it's a good chance. A really nice Berserk there will mean that Preston can't follow up the Lee Sin Q, and it will keep Joy alive. I mean, I will say the thing is, if you play this game out cleanly, you can get an almost perfect game here, probably. But, if you decide to clown around in the game as well, you can't really go around start complaining like, oh, there's nothing we could learn from it, because you didn't try. You didn't try to learn anything from it. Well, we're into a bit of a null state right now in the game. There's no objectives up. It's just going to be a bit of a trade. Both teams trying to farm up as best they can. We know that if anyone picks normal picks, they just lose. I mean, that's confident. It's nice to see the confidence, but let's go there using the W to get away. Girl going in, trying to get this Renata. Berserk comes out, and surely they will be able to revive Renata here. No, she just goes down before the revive comes through. Unstoppable out from the side, going on to Troll Zoe. Troll Zoe will be taken down, and now Karthus is also overextended. That's a double kill to the Jinx. That should be a Baron, unless they want to push towards the enemy Nexus. It's a split decision though. 2 of them going towards Baron, 2 to go towards this tower. That will be fine if they can get both. SSD, the one moving to take this top lane tower on his own. They actually did not decide to do the Baron. They didn't decide to take the towers. So overall plus from that play was just the kills. Which, you know, hey, why not take the towers, take the free tower? Why not take the Baron? It's super free. Jinx 25 plus minutes is a free win. Yeah, pretty much is. I mean, the way it loses in this game is the enemy team gets far enough ahead to immediately assassinate the Jinx and then live long enough that she can't get revived by Renata, which is extremely hard. I'm just surprised at the fact you got Jinx and Renata bot lane, to be honest. Oh, yeah, O'Neal super caught out is doing some nice sidestepping, but walking straight into Lekka will be taken down. And meanwhile, because they've sent all 5 players of NSG down towards the bot lane, Girl actually just going to take the Baron. They'll take it for free, trading for a dragon. It's an objective bounty as well, so 400 gold per person. If you're wondering what that means in terms of gold, no one in this league plays any ranked games, so they don't ban Renata because no one picks it in gold. Hey, I mean, I think it's more they just weren't expecting you to pick it. Or, you know, they've not played against a decent Renata. Or, I mean, Girl have not played the game for 2 weeks. Joy just giving over a free kill to O'Neal there. O'Neal should be taken down in return. Zabator, and I won't type now, trying to turn this round, jumping backwards towards Tactical, but won't be able to pick that one up. Lekka in a lot of trouble. Flash forwards from Zabator, won't actually be able to pick up the kill on the Poppy. Oh, I mean, the thing is, in best of ones, that's fine. You can cheese free wins by managing to pick the Jinx Renata lane. Renata's very good in very specific like comps as well, so it does depend as well what AD carries you get, how your early game goes. But she does feel quite bad from behind. Oh, Preston probably in a lot of trouble here. Did almost manage to take out the Jinx, but just slowed way too much, and with Renata behind, not much you can do. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, if the Renata turns out to be the problem in a proper series, it just gets banned from game 2 onwards, or first picked by the enemy team. Or we got a league channel. Our first league game was our first game overall as team. And I'll say, you're still playing this game fairly cleanly. I mean, you are making mistakes though, so you can definitely learn things from the game. You may not like the fact that Girl have picked strange picks, but you'll be better as an overall team if you're able to adapt to the strange picks and still play the game how you want rather than getting drawn into how they want to play it. Like, there's quite a clear point there where 5 of you went down bot to kill one Jarvan where you gave over a Baron. I mean, that's just, there's never any world where that's a good play. tapped equals we lost to it on solo queue, then we learned how to win. Oh, there's a big trade coming out here, and that will instantly be the Ivan taken out. Saboteur now trying to jump onto Joy, was trying to wait out the Renata. Almost manages to take out the Jinx, but not quite. Now Karthus in a lot of trouble. Flash forwards from Jovi into the Karthus. There's the ult coming out. That'll be one taken out at least. Tactical could be in some trouble from the burn, but will just about live through it. It's a cannon. Any gold? Girl do have the priority on this Drake, but they're so far behind at this point, they should be able to be pushed out fairly easily. Ult coming in from the Scion, unstoppable force. He is trying to curve it around to find Zabutor, but Zabutor's running out to the side. That's a jump forwards from Lekka. Will stun him up. Jovi now taking some damage. I won't type, trying to get close enough for a potential smite. Is jumping into the pit, but the smite is secured by the Poppy. The Berserk was used onto the Ivan. That was a really interesting interaction. Double kill for the Poppy, running forwards with the help of the Renata and the heroic charge. O'Neal could be in some trouble. That's a nice kickback into Cataclysm, but they just don't have the damage to take anyone out. It's 5 members still alive for the side of NSG, and they can definitely open the base with this. Question is, will they go for the end? Two options. They are strong enough. They could definitely try for the end, or they could try and play it safe. Joy taking 2 tower shots. There's the Karthus ultimate just being used to dissuade the enemy team. A lot of damage coming out, and that's the Jinx assassinated. Was just at the back of her team. No one there to try and keep her safe, and that will definitely buy Girl another minute or so of time. With that down, you can see NSG are going to take their backs. I expect them to run straight towards Baron, knowing that Girl might try and sneak away another one again as they did last time. You see, that is exactly what is happening. Girl know their map movements, know what they're doing. That will be the Baron. Probably a flip will occur here. NSG are coming in. There's the TP coming in from the Jarvan to come and join the fight. Berserk goes out. All of Girl hitting each other. It is secured by the Ivan smite. That's 2, 3, 4 down from the side of Girl. O'Neal has to get out here, otherwise the game is surely going to end off of this push. It was a desperation Baron from Girl. NSG realised what was happening. They take them out. Not going to fall for the same trick twice. And they will be able to end the game off of this push. Not the cleanest game, a 30-minute game from what could have probably been a 20-minute game, but NSG will be able to pick up game 1 against Girl. And now they're just going to try and pad the stats a little bit, but Chozo won't go down in the end. Game 1 over to the side of NSG Niflheim. And yeah, I mean, it looked a bit rough for Girl. They had some nice map movements though. It'll be interesting to see with a full Girl team comp how they're able to how they're able to play the game so well. Interesting enough, I do see that Renata made it through the draft again, so I guess Girl thinking that actually Jinx was the problem there and not Renata. Which, you know, I think probably the wrong solution to have picked up from that, but there you go. So going into game 2, this time SSD in the top lane will have the set. Out in the jungle for Lekka, Jovi is on Ari mid, Joy is on Kai'Sa AD carrying tactical, has Renata yet again in the support role. For Girl, O'Neal has his Shyvana top lane, there's Jarvan in the jungle, Veigar mid, and a Lucian Nami bot lane. You know, playing some old comps. We'll have to see how that goes. I mean, I know they haven't actually played for... They hadn't played for 2 weeks prior to this Girl, so maybe had not quite realised some of the meta changes. But from the looks of it, Girl feel like they can win through the bot lane. So they've locked in a strong early game bot lane to fight against Joy and Tactical. Interesting, they left the Renata up thinking that Renata's not really that much of a problem and that the revive's not going to come back and bite them in the ass.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
NSG here just going for, you know, a counter invade strat. Making sure that there's nothing going to be out range from Girl. Not after last time where the bot is taken away. Gotta appreciate the Shiv top. Yeah, O'Neal used to be a jungler, played a lot of Shiv, and so playing top lane, he plays Shiv top quite often. I mean, it's always an interesting one when we can't see what was banned away. I mean, I'm just assuming that the Karthus was probably banned in this game and the TF was probably banned in this game if those two champions aren't on Girl's side. Hard to know for NSG what was banned. I would assume the Jinx banned away, which, you know, that's a choice you can make. And I think the Renata getting through is very strange, but see how that works out for them. Both junglers starting on the top side of the map, moving towards the bot, realizing that the bot lane is probably going to be quite an impactful lane. Who will be able to win this early game and take control of the map. SSD with some really nice trades onto O'Neal, just knows the strength of his champ early. O'Neal with no flash, a flash forward from SSD, but he can't get the final auto attacks, and that's a flash for nothing. O'Neal gonna struggle to pick up this wave, but hey, I mean, you take those. Free flash away from the set makes him a lot more juicy of a target. So, trades onto O'Neal. I mean, we don't really expect too much to be going down in this mid lane. You could attempt ganks. If there's going to be a gank against the Ahri, we expect it to come probably pre-6 to try and get the flash out. And if there's a gank against the Veigar, we would expect it to be post-6, where Ahri can easily get a follow-up. It looks like Jarvan is waiting near the bot lane for the potential counter gank or a dive. Girl, I believe, have not spotted out. But there's a jump forwards onto the Kai'Sa. That's a free flash taken away, but they pull Zabator into the tower. He's taken so much damage. One more hit onto this Lucian and he should be taken out on about 1 HP. Troll Zoe now forced to run away as well. Jovi has run down. Zoe getting hit by the W means that the follow-up does come down. The Q on the way back did tag the Nami there, and that will actually pick that one up. And really bad time there for the bot lane of Girl to be forced to back. Lekka will be found out on this Skull Crab. I believe he secured it with the Smite, but he's in a lot of trouble now from the side of Girl. Trades back and forth. I Won't Type will pick up that kill. That's one traded back, and gold still squarely in the favour of NSG. Mainly from CS differentials in that bot lane, which will get mostly made up right now, and a little bit in the top lane as well. Big trades onto O'Neal, but O'Neal feels fairly safe to be up here, considering there's no flash yet on the set. Wave in a really bad position though for this Shyvana top. I would expect him to be calling for help from his jungler. Because they really needs to get this wave in, get it get it bouncing, but actually he's moved towards the mid lane and O'Neal could be in a little bit of trouble, will start to run away. Lekka on the ward, spotted out. O'Neal just playing back, trying to keep inside the XP range of these minions. There's a jump forwards from Lekka, he's not had damage down into the Shiv. Our mid wave being held by the Jarvan, just making sure it's not too far. And girls bot lane so far haven't really managed to utilize this Lucian Nami pick very effectively in this early game. So that if you fan of girl, that's one place you really were looking for them to get ahead, and the fact that they're at the moment have only really managed to stay even to slightly losing is really not a good sign. But there's a bubble onto the Kai'Sa. They're going forwards, trying to put the damage down that they can. Holy crap, if Renata doesn't do the pull, that CC lasts a long time. That's a lot of damage being traded back onto the Lucian, though. When are they going to nerf Renata again? They really need to. Or they need to give her one of the mini rework nerfs where they just take, like, a sentence out of her kits, and then she'll probably be balanced. Ethical walking up here is on a ward. I Won't Type could have gone in for the flash. There it is forwards. They don't quite have the damage to finish off Renata, but there's damage is put down. Renata will go down in the end. Zabaton now trying to get out, will get taken down. There's a lot of damage into I Won't Type as well, coming out from the Kai'Sa. They'll chase that one up. Meanwhile, in the top lane, there's some small trades going down. W doesn't hit, and I'm not entirely sure how I Won't Type was able to walk out of that one alive, but does manage to do it. So small trades in the bot lane. Lucian, though picking up the kill, will lose a lot of the wave. The big wave up top. There could have been potential for a dive, but O'Neal should feel pretty safe knowing that the jungler's just shown on the bottom side of the map. So overall, see that during this early game, NSG are the ones just starting to get ahead. A flash away from Preston there. Just not wanting to risk at all. Jovi going for a charm play. And if you're the Ahri, you're perfectly happy with that. Trading your Spirit Rush for a flash. That puts the Veigar in a very awkward spot if ganks do come through, or when your Spirit Rush does come off cooldown. Preston actually choosing to stick around. Maybe hoping he can bait a kill onto the Ahri. And see that Tactical actually keeping the wave here. Culling is used by Zabator just to force them back and make sure that the bot lane cannot freeze that. And interestingly enough, there was a small CS lead being built up for the Kai'Sa there, but it has turned almost immediately back around. And here I Won't Type towards the bot lane again. O'Neal actually solo taking this Herald. Lekabezeg not realizing this is happening, despite the Shyvana being gone so long, could have probably taken a guess that might be soloing the Herald. If watched any of Girls' games, should know that this is what they like to do a lot, and could have been prepared for it. Potentially gone and got a kill on the Shyvana, but they didn't do it. And Shyvana will get that Herald, maybe can use it to secure a kill's worth of plates somewhere. Iron type here is just clearing out the vision around the dragon. The girl is sort of slow pushing this bot wave in, just trying to make the Kai'Sa feel unsafe to push up. Oh, there's a flash forwards into a bubble. It does hit onto the Kai'Sa. Avatar trying to trade it around. That's a jump from Lekabezeg onto Lucian. I'm your Joy jumping into the backline, but jumps way too far and will get taken down. Lekabezeg jumping in, though, will get a double kill on the Xin Zhao. And big trades in the top lane. Actually, slight win out for the set in the end. And the big win for NSG here is more that they're able to take this Drake off of the back half of that. O'Neal actually going in for the trade, and he will get dunked down by the set and taken out, not quite realizing how much stronger the set is in these situations. And it is the early Cloud Drake picked up for NSG, so Cloud not a big one usually, but when you think about the amount of extra move speed that will help over the entire game in terms of the clear speed of the Xin Zhao, for example, actually quite a good one. Most of the Drakes actually do work out quite well to get early on, just because of the amount of bonus that they provide to you. Like Ocean and Cloud are two very good to get early. Jovi locked in the cage right now. Does dodge out from being knocked up, tries to Spirit Rush away, but it's too late, and the ultimate comes out from the Veigar to just pick up that kill. Jovi not wanting to expend the flash, maybe forgetting the amount of damage that can be done by a Veigar. And overall, 1,000 gold lead right now to the side of NSG. They do have essentially a stronger just team fight scale. It's kind of hard to say which team would be better going into that team fight. Labrador just jumping forwards for the extra damage. Him and Troll Zoe, though, not quite on the same page. If Troll Zoe had used that E a little bit earlier, maybe could have forced something out. There's a jump in from Type into the instant knock-up against Jovi. They're all going in. Cataclysm locks the Ahri in place and will get taken out. Meanwhile, there's a fight in bot lane. It's a 2v3 right now. Zabador trying to trade back onto I'm Your Joy, but it looked like the culling wasn't doing any damage there at the end. But they will only get one, whereas that's a full tower taken in the mid lane and an extra kill. Actually did get the Ahri Spirit Rush again as well. It just is on such a short cooldown. It will be back up again very soon. Meanwhile, TP from Shyvana up to the top wave just to make sure Set's not going to do too much damage to this top tower. Girl playing the map there, actually swinging the gold into their favour. Let's go into a bit of a lull state yet again in this game. You know, Lekka going for a gank up top, though. O'Neal, of course, has no flash. Does have the Dragon Form, could try and jump away, but will not use it. Cannot get the Fury up for it. That will be a quick kill to NSG on the top side of the map, and they probably can take a tower out of this as well. Of course, with the pressure Renata can put down, Hell's bot lane not really feeling okay to step up there. Taking a lot of damage just to clear out this ward. There's jump forward from the Lucian. Tidal Wave coming out. It's a double knockup. That's one down. Tactical now taken out as well. And Girl playing the map yet again. I'm not sure if just there was no communication from Jovi there about the Vigar being missing or if the bot lane thought they could outplay it, but they will trade over a kill there in the end. Or to 2 kills in the end in order to get that top lane tower, which almost neutralizes the play. It's still a better play for NSG overall, unless Gil can also take this tower, but and they will be able to take the tower, but Joy might decide to go for this one. Won't jump in on it in the end. Gold pretty much even right now, so showing that when these teams are trying, they can go head to head. Will farm up in this top lane. Not too much to talk about right now. There will be a Drake spawning soon, but I'm not expecting either team to go for it instantly off the reset. The push by Tactical. But Varna actually on the top side, I think, is starting up another Herald. Herald not worth all that much realistically. SSD, I missed if he TP'd down here. He did TP down for this Drake. NSG really looking to make sure they can get this early early pressure, and I think you could call that a misplay by O'Neal there after the TP comes down to not shove in that top wave, try and take that tower or put a lot more damage down into it, because what is this second Herald really going to accomplish in this game? You know, there's no inhibs open for it to take. Oh, I won't type, just getting way too cocky there. Will get flipped back. I mean, it looked spicy from SSD, but you should have seen that the flag and drag wasn't there to be used. Didn't need to expend the flash. Will you do it anyway to secure the kill? Always better, of course, to secure that if needed. You're not sure. They will secure it in the end. The game is pretty much even still. Yeah, I think this will be a very interesting 5-game series between these two. As you can see, when both teams are trying here, they're getting, you know, they're throwing their punches at each other and they're returning them. We're almost at a kill a minute, but not quite. I think if they did some research into each other, you know, some of these plays as well would stop working out. Maybe after you see O'Neal going for this Herald play, solo Herald play in like a couple of games, you actually start trying to punish it. Maybe after seeing this Renata a few games, you know, don't let it through. Because a few of those early trades in the bot lane as well really went in NSG's favour just because the Renata, with her pull especially. How long does the pull last for? That's what I want to know. Can we do that? See? Which one's the pull? Not the W. It'll be really annoying and find out. 2 seconds. No, wait, that's not it. The Q? Oh, so the Q is essentially a 1.5 second CC. Which, you know, that's pretty damn decent, especially when it's a mini hook as well. You just need to stop trolling top. Hey, I mean, this game, that was a couple of things, but overall, not been too bad. I think he probably could have taken that top tower instead of the Herald, but hey, people like Herald. I mean, taking away the Herald, you could make an argument that it's that the enemy team can't get the Herald and break your mid lane tower. Old man has. Ah, tell me about it. I'm starting to feel that. Not that I really play much anymore, but definitely the old man hands. Starting to randomly fail combos that shouldn't be failable. Two heralds both on top laner, worth. Well, I mean, Shyvana can get to be ridiculous. Oh, but there's four members of Girl up here. They're going into SSD. That's a lot thrown down just to get that shutdown. It is 550 gold total that will be picked up. And they can use this Herald, but if it means Preston is having to give up this mid lane tower, not really worth it. They won't give up this split lane. Crash Wave, put Herald, dive mid, get two turrets, one Herald. I mean, but here's the re-engage into the bot lane. I won't type, try and jump away. Killer Instinct is used by Joy to follow up. Will pick that up. That's 2 kills. Joy will be saved briefly by Renata, but it's not for long enough. TP actually coming in from Jovi here as well. Following on to Preston. Stopwatch will go down, but there's no flash left. There's no way for him to get out. You win 4v4 anytime. Just because of Renata. I mean, yeah, Renata's just fucking broken. Like, the more I see her, the more I'm like, oh, this champion's so stupid. It's like one of those champions where you initially look at it and you're like, actually, you know what? That W doesn't sound very broken. And the W's really not broken, weirdly enough. But, oh. It's not even really the damage that's disgusting. It's everything else. Like the amount of CC on her Q with the fact that it's a mini throw and it does damage. The ult is just like one of the best anti-dive tools in the game. What is Renata passive? I can't remember. Oh god, yeah, she has like she has Leona passive, but better. Because yeah, fuck Leona, right? She was a weak champion. We better give another champion a better version of her own passive. But yeah, it's things like that, like is was that needed? Was adding percent max health damage on what was a Leona passive needed on a champion? No. No, it really wasn't. Could they do it? Yeah, but the rest of the stuff in her kit is also just, like, kind of ridiculous. I think she's not got an amazing win rate right now, potentially just because people don't know how to play around her still. You see in the, like, all of the pro games where she just became pick ban, like, within a few games. If Thresh will be banned, Renata will not. But Thresh isn't even that good right now. Like, Thresh is annoying, but not great. And the thing is, you can punish Renata. Um, Early on, if you can get the kills into the Renata, she does become practically fucking, like, useless. She becomes an alt bot, which, you know, can win you the game, but it's very reliant on your ults actually gonna buy something for your team. It's I just think the way she plays is so unhealthy for the game. It's just so bad. There's a throwaway. I Won't Type is just gonna Cataclysm the Renata and pick up a early quick kill there. Saboteur taking a ward, just clearing out some vision towards the top side girl, setting up sort of around this Drake, this Baron. Interesting Kai'Sa build to start with. Don't think Joy's upgraded anything yet. Oh, there's a jump forwards from Joy. We'll pick up that with the Q. We'll pick up a double kill. Actually, there's the power of AP on Kai'Sa. I can't believe it took people like 3 seasons to work this out. Jovi trying to trade into I Won't Type. Charm goes down into a W. And now O'Neal in a lot of trouble. Looks like he's going to try and turn it around and get a kill on the Kai'Sa, but he'll end up just giving away his own life. The Renata ult comes out, not entirely sure why, but it doesn't matter in the end. That's how you play Kai'Sa. Yeah, Kai'Sa's just a W bot nowadays. I'm just surprised that the Nash's Tooth was the first build, as opposed to like the Ludens for the extra damage and ability haste. Because at the moment, I don't think Joy has managed to upgrade anything. Maybe W? Was actually maxing Q first. Oh, wait. Has actually evolved it all. With those items. Oh, yeah, got enough AP now. Didn't have enough AP before, I think. Well, it must have had enough AP before. A lot of damage. Tactical and I Won't Type with some short trades, but the Kai'Sa damage is just massive. Jumping in, I'm your Joy now trying to trade back onto Zabator. It's a lot of damage going down, but Renata reviving the Kai'Sa, keeping her alive. Yeah, I didn't realize that actually with 2 items you could upgrade all 3 things. I knew Nash's was really good, but I didn't realize it was quite that good. Oh. So, essentially, actually I can check this if it would have. 80 extra ability power. I actually did have enough AP to upgrade all of them. Ah. People still build Ludens first in solo queue and they get stomped. I mean, they don't. I've seen Ludens build in solo queue first. And I've not seen a lot of them get stomped. I see them get stomped if they, you know, build Ludens first and then don't manage to hit a W. Pull your match history. But I mean, what are you playing against? Like, maybe you've stomped the Ludens builders first, but that might be how you're playing against them. It might just be you found people who are playing Kai'Sa because they just think it's broken. And they're not playing it because, like, they think it's good. Like, oh. Joy going in, will actually use the Killer Instinct to survive, but it's taken down, just forgetting that there's a stopwatch on the Vigar there. And that is a mistake. That's a decent shutdown over to the enemy team. Tactical was caught in the Cataclysm for a second there. Charm goes down onto the Jarvan. Tidal Wave is used to just make sure that no kill will come out. The interesting thing right now, Lekka actually has a 700 bounty. That's... I'm not sure where that came from, but hey ho. Small gold lead opened up right now for the side of NSG, looking about 3,000 in terms of what that actually translates to. At the moment, it's mostly items on the Xin Zhao and the Kai'Sa. And see that Xin actually building a Maw, wanting to try and keep himself alive through the Vigar damage. Not too concerned of Lucian right now. I've arrived, and if the enemy top is here, it was so boring to sit side all day. I mean, that's kind of like how the comps are. Comes this up. Troll Zoe actually taking half health from 1W there. Tidal Wave will be used, but nothing will really come out of it. And here's the side lane. SSD and O'Neal will just, you know, give each other a love tap and walk away. I'm a tank and I want to win team fights, not play versus Hullbreaker. I mean, that's the thing. Hullbreaker is just the, I think your guys' macro isn't the best. Because it's like, I think you're gonna let me push. And to be honest, the thing is, the weakness that I've seen so far from NSG is that their decision making on the macro plays isn't the best. They could be punished on that. They've not managed to be punished too hard right now. Not some piece of hardware, call you Kevin. Ah, but then people who join the stream won't know who I mean. Tactical instantly being taken out there, the Renata down, that's a big fight, team fight presence. Meanwhile, Kai'Sa in the backline, that's a big shutdown. Zabuza jumping forwards will just manage to pick up that kill, but Jovi's taken one down in response. Kai'Sa did fall on the back end, and Girl with a massive team fight win. It's just Jovi left now to try and turn this around. Not much that can be done. Jovi actually picked up a Banshees, it will be popped. It's a run forwards, that's a lot of damage into the Ahri. The Ignite is put down. Will it be enough? Oh, the heal from the Raptors! Ahri passive there, coming in clutch with a heal out of the Raptors. And Girl yet again pulling the game close to themselves. So we do a AP check on Vigar. Why not? 255 stacks, 847 AP. Not the absolute highest yet. We can see that Ahri has realized right now that her point in this team is not to be the full carry. It's to be, you know, a kite mage, to be annoying, to be around throwing CC, throwing charms, just getting in people's way. As the Everfrost then gone for the more defensive Banshees Sonya's out second. So wanting to buy as much time as possible. This does leave a little bit of an issue though. If Kai'Sa is caught again, that really does end the team fight for the side of NSG right now. They have so much gold and carry potential pumped into the Kai'Sa as opposed to anyone else. Is worth noting that last time it was a pick on a Renata that started everything off. Without the Renata, maybe we don't see that. NSG are trying to set up a death bush right now. They have vision over. Girl will just walk around the back, put some vision down. The W hits onto Troll Zoe, jump in, an instant assassination against the fish. Preston could be in a little bit of trouble. That's a flash forwards from Lekka. He's going in onto the Vigar. Vigar forced to use the Zhonya's. Will actually get taken out. There's the Berserk. I think that we saw an interesting interaction there, which I'll talk about in a second. But there's Jovi trying to follow up onto Zabator. Can't get it. Yeah, interesting interaction is that Jarvan will attack his own flag, not the enemy team. Yeah, I don't expect you guys to play clean. I just thought it's a bit rich to say you can't learn anything from a game. No matter how bad the game is, you can usually learn something by looking back and thinking, oh, we could have played this better. So yeah, it's like to say, oh, there's nothing we can learn from this game. It was completely pointless. Is just, you know, in a way, it's somewhat insulting to whoever your coach is. Tactical instantly assassinated by the Narman Lushi. Narman Lushi? Lucian Nami. They tried to go for a little steal there, could not pick it up in the end. Looks like Girl might try and just follow them up, slow down the Baron recalls, slow down the side of NSG as much as they can. Narman Lucy. Yes. Narman and Lucy. The best bot lane that you can. No, I think it's still pretty weak for like what it is. I mean, that just tells me you haven't watched any of the other games or the league before, because Girl always do a weird strat their first game to see what it is, and then they'll try in the second game. It's not it's not them like disrespecting. It's because they want to have some fun. And the you're gonna win is pretty much like you should win. It's kind of insulting there. Depends how you see it. Oh, and Renata taken out. Some oversteps there. Jovi, the Ignite is used on him. That was so much damage out from the W, but Charm goes down. And actually, the Vigar Q being able to be used just before the Charm, and Preston picking up 2 kills in a 1v3. With the draft, you can get the same draft on Flex. You can get the same draft on Flex, on normals, on solo queue. Like, there's some trades coming out here. Big fight breaking out around the dragon. Zapdos trying to put what damage he can in, but they can't get this set down. He's just way too tanky. O'Neal TPing in now just to die. He's going to try and get the kill onto Jovi. Won't be able to get it. Big win for NSG. Oh, and I think that was the dragon auto off the back from the AoE of the Infernal Drake. Actually took Jovi out there. I mean, the thing is, you can find it insulting or whatever. You can say like, "Oh, I can find the same draft on Flex." You could find a perfectly good draft on Flex. You could, find a team that drafts the perfect Exodia combo on Flex, or you could find a team that for some reason drafts 5 champions that do nothing. And yeah, the second draft I don't think was troll. I think it's just a bit of not having played for properly for like 2 weeks. Um, and the best way if you feel like a draft is insulting to you is just to smash it. Joe, hey, look, yeah, absolutely smash because your draft here was not good. And to be fair, we did played with them like a week or two ago. We did a full AD carry Clash game and absolutely just smashed the Clash game. So it's not like, you know, these kind of drafts can't work. And if I saw that kind of draft, I would treat the game not as like a throwaway game. It's a how cleanly can we play this? Clash equals cheese. I mean, oh yeah, the full Yordle game, but that's not too troll. You can actually make a proper comp out of Yordles. Oh, there's a jump in. Girl have engaged, one down already from their side, but through out from the enemy team. Jovi now taken out as well, and Girl pulling the trigger and starting this up. Full AD Pantheon support on Clash and win because it's cheese. You can play full AD Pantheon support anywhere and win. Like, it... Oh, and there's a potential engage in from SSDS, but he will get taken out as well, and Girl should be able to take this tower. It looks like they might just be trying to go for an end here. They're going to have to wait for the next wave, though. That's so much damage coming out from Vigar Altos. We see the damage actually coming out. That's one tower down. Lekka will just use the ultimate to force them away. That's one down already. Girl probably going to try and back out of this one. Lekka jumping onto the backline, though. Is taking out the Vigar, is taking out the Shyvana. Now Zabator's left to try and get some damage back. Can't actually get it. And that's 40 or 50 seconds. Maybe that was an overstep by Girl, and NSG might just be able to run this down mid. They will be going into super minions. But with 30 seconds still, they've got an entire wave to try and work with to take this out. Not too much Troll Zoe can do right now. Can use the ult, try and slow down the push. But if he gets jumped on, the game should be over. That's a flash forwards. Troll Zoe will use Zhonya's and is going to be going down eventually. Tactical in a lot of trouble there. Will pick it up. Will get taken out. And there is respawn starting to come in from the side of Girl. They're trying to go forwards. That's a flip away using on the Jarvan. They're just keeping Jarvan away from the Kai'Sa. Well, Kai'Sa ends the game. And it was an overstep from Girl into a turnaround by the side of NSG that won the game. A very close game too. That could have gone either way. But NSG take it. And that puts them in first place going into the... going towards the playoffs. Of course, if Fuji double win their game, they'll be drawing, and they drew their game, so I guess we'll just... we go to whichever team ended quicker, we'll get the first pick, who they get to face in the first round of playoffs. And that doesn't look too great for Girl right now. They're in a spot where they might not actually be able to lock playoffs using this. So we're gonna have to wait and see how that goes. I am gonna quickly go grab a drink, another drink, and then I will be back quite soon to continue on with the next series of games. Next up, we do have Null8 up against TFL. A minute. it just me, or is that music really like scuffed somehow? Quite sure what happened with that, but oh well. Anyway, coming up next is Null8 versus TFL. It's a very important one for the side of Null8. It puts them in contention for the top two spots if they win it, whereas for TFL, they're looking to keep their playoff dreams alive. They need at least a draw here in able to be able to qualify. But you know, they also the distinct chance they just to get one. And if they don't get one, then they will be locked out of the playoffs with one series left to play. So it will be interesting to see in that case play their final game. We'll be going straight into the draft. Not draft. Yeah, straight into the game. Brains. Work. Web goods. Go. Null8 versus TFL. We can actually see from the side of Null8, we've got a Garen top lane. Maverick on a classic Garen. Danny is playing Ivan in the jungle. Freezy is playing. Wait, no, this isn't right. These are the wrong places on the scoreboard. Yes, this is how they should be. Line up correctly in draft, but there we go. We've got Maverick top lane with Garen, Rengar in the jungle, Ivan mid, Breezy as AD carry, and Skymoth support. And that Mr. Ananas is a good player. Yes, Pineapples is a very good player. Whereas for the side of TFL, they have a Tarm, Kench, Op. They've got Volibear playing in the jungle. Vygar will be mid laner, Pineapple, and Akil playing the Lucian Nami bot lane. On people starting to play a lot more, but I mean, I personally still think it's really weak for what you actually want it to do, which is get ahead early. It's just too easy to neutralize the lanes nowadays. Or for it to be flipped back with a gank or counter gank. So this time being into a Braum Jinx, we do just expect it. I say, I think actually, are you starting with game 2? Okay. Fine. Okay, here we go. Wait, that should be game 1. From the numbers, we'll swap and do the other game, because if you guys know, it's game 2. This is also why you should probably say which one it is. If you look at the numbers of the games, the number on that game is actually lower, as in it played first, but maybe it's just maybe the numbers come out from when you download it and not play it. Also, the fact that Null8 should be on the blue side game 1, and that game had them on the blue side game 1. So, hey, I mean, you can't blame that one on me if you played the games the wrong way around. Of course, I'm going to expect it to be the way it's in the schedule. But we'll go on to the other game then. That's fine. We'll do it the other way around. This time, we're gonna start TFL on the blue side, Null8 on the red side. TFL Adrenaline has Darius, we've got a Nunu in the jungle, we've got TF mid, Pineapples has Jinx, and Akil playing Rakan. Whereas when we look to the other side for Null8, they have their Warwick in the top lane. That's one he likes to play. Skip in the jungle has Volibear, there's Victor mid, and we've got MF Nasus support. A very interesting one. Nasus, of course, becoming a lot more popular recently. Ellis was always a big proponent of Nasus support, but people starting to realize that against characters like Zeri, like Kai'Sa, that really rely on the move speed buffs that can be given to them, it's a really good pick. Jinx, a little bit like that as well, where hey, the Nasus W can essentially nullify her getting excited move speed, but also not the best in that sense. TFL actually invading as one towards the bottom side of the map, whereas when we look for N8, they're going for a top side invade. Nasus is counter to Jinx. I mean, it's kind of a counter to Jinx. like I was saying, it's a little bit of a counter to Jinx in that you slow her move speed, which is something she relies on as an immobile AD carry. Uh, Big counters when you use it against those AD carries that their buffs are to move speed. The big two being Zeri and Kai'Sa, as they have them on regular abilities. But there's a flash to get the flash out of from the Nasus support. There's a knock up onto the Nasus. Ignite is thrown down. Lots of flashes being used, and that's a first blood over to Pineapples on the Jinx. Is gonna mean that these blue buffs will be traded, and TFL know that the blue buffs are going to be traded. Both sides knowing here who started on which side. We're gonna have to wait and see how that goes. This is actually very ballsy from Takahashi here in going for the Grump as well. The bot lane of Null8 just going, no, we're not going to allow that. Skymorph will pick up that kill. I think I probably would have given it to the MF. There was basically no reason there not to make sure your MF gets it, but hey, I guess it's fine on the Nasus. It gives him the blue buff, allows him to spam that E in the early game, which would be a bit more poke, a bit more pressure. So Pineapples, despite getting that kill, not actually taking it back yet, so should be looking for an early back at some point to try and make use of the fact they have that first blood advantage. Wouldn't be surprised to see a shove into a back here, but we might not see that after all. It's 700 gold at the moment. A bit of a slow start out from the game. Nasus should only be picked as fourth bot lane. Yeah, you never want the Nasus to be able to be countered. Adrenaline in a lot of trouble, but he will get the flash away, and Maverick will use the barrier and jump onto Adrenaline, pick up that kill, just knows the healing from Warwick in this early game. Absolutely disgusting, and able to just stay alive and fine. And you can really see how well Maverick knows this Warwick pick. Knew he didn't have to chase after the Darius straight away, didn't have to auto him, could just stay autoing the wave, tanking through those minions. Not many champions can do that early on into the game. So I love to see when teams have their own like special picks that are not played everywhere. Ganking the bot lane though, here comes the Nunu, gonna try and punish this no flash Nasus support. Exhaust is thrown down onto Pineapples. They're gonna try and give Jinx the kill. It will go into the pockets of the Jinx. High skip now. Walking up, but not really gonna get much. Pineapples really needing to back as soon as possible to spend that gold. Actually get the advantage in hand. You can see Nasus working straight towards the Frozen Heart. Yeah, so it's really nice to see these little picks coming out like Warwick and things like that, which other teams not as which aren't as common in the meta, and can often get a really good matchup off of it, just because you know the matchup so much better than your opponent, even if it's not the best or just even. Often you can win it anyway, because they're not able to as effectively punish the pits where you might mess up, whereas you know the matchup so well you can punish all the times they would. So Wave actually not in a great place right now while TFL are going for the back, but realizing we really just need to get this back off. Sure, it's not a great place, but we're just going to do it. And Freezy here could decide to try and freeze this wave if wanting to. But looks like Freezy is just going to take the entire wave if possible, not going to deny any of the minions away from the enemy bot lane. The absolute size of the wave there could have just waited and allowed it to come forwards, created a potential gank threat, but instead going for the pressure so that they can go towards the Drake. Early Infernal doesn't mean much, to be honest. It isn't going to change any of those early kill. Going to change any of those early kills. Not going to change too much of the pressure that will come out from either team. A gank into the mid lane, knock up into stun. There's a little bit of CC layering going on there. Danny in a lot of trouble. They're going to give it over to iJustType. And of course, we have a bot in the chat. Let's ban that bot. Ban that bot. Ban that bot. There we go. Retakash here found out though going for the Raptors will be forced to flash away from the Nasus. Nasus the Volibear. Volibear still going to try and follow up, but that was inside the tower. We'll take a tower shot. Just the one though means he will be able to walk out okay. Pineapple's forced to use the Chompers. Chompers into knockup. That's a lot of damage down onto the Nasus. Ignite was thrown out, but they're not going to be able to finish up that kill. Not confident to walk up into the MF, who has come back with double longswords. Jinx right now a much stronger position than the MF. If probably wants to keep this lane as in this state as long as can possibly be until a mythic can be picked up. Maverick going in on adrenaline will, you know, get a little bit of trades going down. The thing here, we saw how much healing can come out of this Warwick. Adrenaline can't really do much unless he can get the ult down for the finish. There's a lot of damage coming out. The ult comes out, but the barrier to block it. The ult comes out from Maverick, and there's what knowing the matchup gets you. Able to just live through that and absolutely style on the enemy top and jungle. Pineapple's forced to flash away, but the ult from High Skip will pick up that kill. iJustType is here way too late. That's a TF ult that does essentially nothing on the map. Gold pretty much even right now. And another gank on the mid lane. Danny potentially in a lot of trouble. Will flash over the wall. That's a flash for free in the mid lane. Oh no, Pineapples, you're too near the wall. And the MF bullet time coming out just to make sure that is picked up. They might go for a tower dive right now on this Rakan. The poor Birdman, not much he can do. Will flash backwards. It's a lot of damage into High Skip. But he will still live through this. Skymorph gonna follow up, but that's a flash taken out from the Rakan and returned for basically nothing. And Pineapple's there just walking way too close to his own jungle. That's a kill over, and honestly, a lot more early pressure for the side of Null8. Umbral Glaive being picked up first on Freezy. Have the Umbral Glaive changes come through? I know they were changing something about it. But another gank on the mid lane. They really don't like this Victor. Danny in a lot of trouble. Absolute Zero coming out. Full damage onto the Victor. And it will eventually, maybe. Oh, but Danny actually managing to live through that. Free in such a lot of trouble here now. We'll try and get away, but Danny going to take that kill. iJustType not have the damage for this. Oh, here comes Maverick. The ult comes in. Gold card's not ready in time, and that will be another kill picked up. Well played from Null8. And Freezy, here we see the power of the Umbral Glaive, able to just clear out wards almost instantly. Part of me loves Umbral Glaive is coming back, and a part of me really hates it. There's the ultimate from the Jinx Super Mega Death Rocket, causing death for the MF. Managing to get something back after, you know, being bullied a little bit in this bottom lane. The enemy jungler. High Skip is back again, though. Will ult to make sure he's not killed in place, and the Jinx goes down again. Poor Jinx, there's nothing that can really be done. iJustType is coming in now. Exhaust is thrown down into the TF. That's an early Q, while Exhaust is still blocking the damage. Sonya's is used. So much damage coming out, and It's an absolute disaster for TFL as 3 for 0 in the end. Maverick, meanwhile, been pushing in that mid wave. Volibear is just does a disgusting amount of damage. Meanwhile, Maverick's just been shoving this mid wave over and over again, picking up loads of plates from this tower. And we can see, Ree's been trying to go for these ganks, but a lot of the time High Skip has just been more successful on them. Pineapple's really struggling here in this bot lane. Not even so much to do with the Nasus pick, but just generally the amount of poke that's been going in with the ganks from the volley pair. And he's back again. This poor Jinx. Oh, but here comes Nunu for the gank. The counter will come out eventually. High Skip running straight at Pineapples. Poor Pineapples, the kiting's going down. They will be able to keep the Jinx alive, but Nunu could be in a lot of trouble. Absolute Zero going out. It's enough damage with the Super Mega Death to pick up that kill, and Pineapple's running forwards. Can smell the blood in the water. Really wants to get that. Backs off in the end. Not willing to risk that one. Akhil will walk up. The knock-up does miss. Freezy manages to put almost enough damage into Pineapples. Akhil can't quite catch up to the MF. Cleanse does come out. It's a lot of damage from the zap. 320 gold into the pocket. Nunu, not exactly who you want it on. And there's the E from the Nasus to pick up that kill against Jinx. And I'm not sure if they will have enough damage here to finish off Nasus. No, they won't. Frozen Heart as well, just doing so much work. Maverick is here now. Oh, and the fear timing is beautiful, blocking Akhil from being able to battle dance onto his jungler. And Null8, they're just styling right now. You can see the power of these picks that the enemy team isn't really used to playing against. Stuff like the Warwick, when it's strong and you haven't seen it much, it just feels dirty to play against. And Maverick here showing just how well he knows the Warwick pick, how well he can abuse it to get ahead. We'll say it was looking really good at the start from TFL, but bot lane's really been struggling with the amount of Volibear ganks that have been coming in. That's a lot of damage into the Nasus. The kill will go to the Rakan in the end, not the Jinx. But you're not the saddest at that. Might help keep Jinx alive. Jinx is going to flash out of that bullet time. Wasn't quite trusting enough. Oh, but there's the jump over the wall. High Skip picking up one already. Akhil trying to jump away. Will battle dance to his mid laner. High Skip, no fear, just running straight past the turret at the enemy mid support. And TFL are struggling a little bit in this game. It's a 5,000, almost 6,000 gold lead for the side of Null8 right now. Null8 showing that actually they want to contend for the top spots. And Ri Takahashi in a bit of trouble here. Akhil's going to use the ultimate to try and keep him alive. Oh, Adrenaline. It's just all a bit of comedy of errors. Adrenaline trying to get onto the Victor. Can't quite take him down. It will be taken down in the end. Pineapple's trying to put damage in. Flash over from the Volibear. He's just relentless. He's not stopping. He wants to bully the hell out of this enemy. Bot lane is an ult over the wall from the Warwick, picking up one. Pineapples is trying to get the kill onto the Volibear. Can't quite get it. It's a double kill for Maverick. An ace at 15 minutes in the game. And this has got to feel so bad for TFL. And this game looking very good from the side of Null8 right now. I can't even remember. What did they change about Umbral Glaive? Because they changed it last patch, right? But I can't remember if they just lowered the cost or they added some stats to it. sort of mucked around with stats or anything. I think it might have just lowered the cost, right? Less gold and less cooldown. Yeah, that would feel very good for it. I am not at all surprised that it would be being rushed first on lethality users. Because it was already at the point where lethality users kind of wanted to use it, but it just felt kind of bad because of the relatively low stat line. And that fact that you'd be essentially slowing down your other bigger damaging items. Highskip, best player in this league. Highskip's been playing really well this game. Hard to tell if it's, you know, the volley bear pick and how good he is on the volley bear, or just generally is the best. We'll have to see if he can keep up next game. Lots of battle dances coming out from Akil. Akil staying alive. Takahashi now running out as well. Adrenaline actually getting the kill. That's a double ult coming down. And they pick up 2 TFL, showing that they are not out of this game. Pushing As5 in the top lane. They will summon the Heralds as well. Might actually try and make an inhib play right now. Putting damage down into this turret. There is a bounty on it. There's an objective bounty claimed as well. Pineapples wants to keep going forwards, but actually the team's going to say, you know what? We don't think we can get that Herald in. We don't think we're going to be able to take that. We're just going to leave this one here. Takahashi just has to use the biggest snowball ever to get out of this one. Oh, but here comes Highskip. Found the TF. TF trying to find the right card. Can't find it. Will go down in the end, and TFL needs to actually just run out of this one. They can't keep turning around to think that they can save someone. Adrenaline here also definitely going to die. They've just got to leave him. Make sure they can get everyone else out. Akil backing in a precarious place. Will use the grand entrance and the battle dance to escape. Skymorph running up to the tower here. Going to take 2 tower shots. But that won't actually mean anything. There's no rockets yet for the Jinx. Will she placed it at the enemy nexus now? No. So, you know, it was really bad about a 5,000 gold lead maybe 3 or 4 minutes ago for the side of Null8. We're still looking at the same 3 Drakes to them. It's hard for TFL to come back into this game, but they've shown that, you know what, they can still find picks. Maybe they can do something still against this. Interesting to see that they let the walk through. Obviously thought that Darius would be able to handle it, but in this case, that's not been the case. Oh, and Takahashi just going way too far forwards. The fear coming out. It won't be enough. Highskip just running at the Jinx, forcing her to run away. Adrenaline also going to fall. It's a double kill to the MF, and yeah, it's starting to feel a bit. I mean, it was already one of those games where it'd be ridiculously hard for TFL to come back into it. But hey, that's it's fine. Doing what they can. Just trying to buy time, maybe to think about what went badly in this game. What do we need to do for the next game? Definitely can still win this. You know, they have some very good tools for picking off enemy champions that they can use. You could always try and flip an Elder, get that turn the game around. The game is not over by any margin. I think they wanted to give the red buff here, maybe to Pineapples. No. Just let it reset, and Takahashi gonna do it again. I wonder actually if the tier item good on Nunu or Fimbulwinter would that have been good on Nunu? The E would give him using E would give him a shield. I'm not sure the cooldown. And he spaced the E's out enough to get 3 shields from 1. Anyway, I'm not sure. Baron being started up by Null8, there's not really going to be an answer. It looks like TFL kind of want to come check this, but with the amount of CC and zoning, surely not going to get there in time. Yeah, you can see they're just zoned away by the Warwick and the Victor while the rest of the team finishes it off. That's the Baron going down. High Skip actually running straight at the enemy team. But not much really going to come out from that one. Maverick here just bullying Rhea away from his own jungle camps. Drake will be spawning in 6 seconds. That Hex Tech Soul, the Static Shiv, damage plus slows. And High Skip will just do it while the rest of the team actually are on the zoning path. Reed did manage to get into the backside, but they knew he was there. And he is going to go down eventually. Bullet time into multiple. N8 is all together now, and the enemy team, there's just not too much they can do. Adrenaline trying to run away. There's the ult coming out, and actually the follow from Maverick using the Warwick Q. They'll get the knock up onto him. He will be taken out with the Darius ultimate, but Breezy actually takes too many tower shots and is shut down as well. Akil not feeling okay to walk up to his AD carry for the heal there, but they're all down in the end. I skip with just a little bit of BM. Running around the towers. That will be the surrender. TFL realizing, hey, you know, this game's over. Let's just save our mental. Let's go on to game 2. And see how it goes from there. So, I mean, I gotta say, I would be surprised if we saw Warwick back. I'd be surprised if we saw Volibear back. That felt like the 2 big picks that were really making a difference in that game. It's unfortunate for TFL. They do now need to win this game to stay in contention. But yep, we did go through as well last time the picks that came out again, but so Maverick in the top side this time has Garen as Rengar jungle with Ivan mid, and it's Jinx Boron bot lane. Whereas for TFL, they've taken away the Volibear themselves, and they've got a Tahm Kench in the top lane to complement that Volibear jungle. Veigar in the mid lane, and they've got a Lucian Nami bot lane, so wanting to be a bit more aggressive, try and get further ahead in that bot lane. Obviously, felt like they were strong and they could potentially snowball through that lane. So we'll have to see if they are able to do that. Null8 fighting to get towards the top of the table, and TFL fighting for their playoff lives. Go to game 2. And Null8 yet again just walking towards this bottom lane. This is something people like to play Ivan mid quite a lot. It allows you access to your jungler's buffs from earlier on. You get more levels, which means, you know, those buffs can be shared earlier on. It just gives you a really strong enchanter towards that mid to late game. The thing is, you've sort of got to pair it with champions that you know are going to be fine. The longer this game goes on, the more awkward it's going to become for N8, just because their damage is almost entirely AD right now. They do have the Garen to shred armor, but overall still gonna present a problem if, you know, Adrenaline and Takahashi do stack the armor. It'd be quite an easy Zonya's pick up here for the Zygar to make sure he stays alive. They actually double tier start for the side of TFL. They want to go for this scaling. The Volibear is just It's kind of an interesting thing because you're scaling into a Jinx Ivan, and there's a Braum as well to help keep the Jinx alive. It just feels like it's almost doomed to fail. Um, I really wouldn't be surprised to see some MR pick up from the Jinx at some point, even though it's not in a usual build path. Oh, Pineapples and Akio actually finding out Freezy here in the bot lane. The stun goes down onto Pineapples. He will flash away with the Ignite and Exhaust are both used on him. Akio now in a lot of trouble. The stun will come out. Heal in return. Exhaust goes down onto Freezy, but Pineapples taking all of the damage from the minions. It's an absolute disaster the side of TFL. I didn't quite see what happened there. I went for that early trade, so there was the E on Akil. You see the power of Braum there with the amount of stuns that can come out just from his passive. That's a trade of all summoners in the bot lane except for the support Nami Flash. And, this, if you wanted TFL to keep their hopes alive for playoffs, this is not what you wanted to see. It's an absolute disaster, and it's going to be hard for this Nami Lucian lane to recover. It's still possible there could be an overextension where we see the engage coming out yet again. Pineapple's running backwards, doesn't want to just overextend. Akil as well, they're just going to leave it for the volley bet potentially. Pineapple's back though. They're going to try and leave it for the Lucian. Speed up comes through. 300 gold into the Lucian, that's instantly comes back. I think that was 90 bonus gold from somewhere. Lucian have the new Bounty Hunter rune. Oh, if the game will let me look. Oh my god. Okay, I give up. Whatever. I skip going for a trade onto the Vigar. That's instant half health out from the Yordle. He's going to flash away, and that jump is so far. High Skip's going to pick this kill up. Now Ri Takahashi is in a 1v2 against the Ivan Rengar. And where was this Rengar damage in the game with Girl? There's so much damage going out. It's an absolute disaster. 2 kills over to the Jinx just as it looked like the lane was going to be stabilized in the bot lane and give Lucian Nami a chance. It's just yanked straight away from them. And I mean, what can you even do now? It, it's got to be so demoralizing for this to happen early on in the game, knowing that, hey, you kind of need your Lucian Nami to scale up and be more useful than the Jinx is going to be. The bubble coming out from Akil there, but it's not going to hit. Pineapples will jump forward. It's going to try and go for some trades still, but it's just such a feels bad. Maverick and Adrenaline with lots of trades in the top lane. Adrenaline actually getting the better here against the Garen. Maybe could start to win out a bit harder and go forwards. Yeah, carry through the Tahm Kench top, but it seems very unlikely. Not really the best of tanks to be a sort of carry. That carry potential. Of course, Jinx will be a lot stronger than Lucian right now. Pineapples will need to get her back off soon and try and get a bit more gold into his pockets. But hey, if they burst out the Jinx, then it does not matter. The Guardian popped. But really, it's one of those sad games where it could have been such an interesting game, but just one early game skirmish in the river going the wrong way kind of makes this game feel so extremely hard for TFL. They're going to go for this Drake. Should be able to pick it up in the end. And hey, that will give them a way back for this game. They're already 3,000 gold down though. How realistic is the comeback? I'm off with a control ward. We'll just clear out some vision around the Drake. I mean, it buys space for his Ivan mid. It's hard to say what should even be happening next. TFL will have to try and get back into this game some way. It feels like they need to try and make a play on the Jinx, but it's such an obvious lane that needs to be fixed that you've got to expect any gank you make is going to be counter ganked. The power of the Garen passive slowly healing up has not really fallen too far behind on the CS. A nice trade from Maverick. He will use the spin. Ignite is thrown down into the Tarn Kench. There's the ultimate. Did get the interesting flash from Maverick. I say it interesting. It's not even like he could have thought he could flash into range there. He definitely should know the range of flash is nowhere near that far. Maybe it's just a gentleman's trade. You flashed, I'll flash. Maverick could be in some trouble, but Adrenaline will use the Q. Is able to stay alive in that one. I suppose he knew that there was no ultimate on the Garen. Felt fairly safe to go for that trade. I will be able to get it. Interestingly, Volibear going back to farm up. Take the Heralds. Not going to help push in that top lane. Get any top lane damage. Adrenaline should be able to pick up a plate as well. Top side looking a lot better right now for TFL than the bottom side is. Right now for Pineapples and Akil, it's just, try and get towards that item, first, second item where Burst starts to come back online for them. Pineapple's jumping forwards, wants to put some Burst in, but it's a lot of damage down onto the Lucian. It feels so hard for them to play this game. You can see that the damage isn't insignificant, but it's just traded back so easily. Pineapple's actually jumping in. Exhaust is used. Ignite. Zap will bring that back for the Jinx. Now Akil. There's the potential of a tower dive here onto the Nami. They're going to go for it. There's the instant kill coming out onto the Nami. I think Freezy was saving the third hit there. Not entirely sure, but I wasn't looking at that. But yeah, that was easy to see how hard it is for TFL to play. Adrenaline's found high skip in the jungle, and this catfish actually is winning out against the cat. But with Maverick on the way, not happy to go. Oh, a nice route will stop the Abyssal Voyage. I can see this Rengar is going to be more of a burst version than the one we saw in Girls' Game. So I think generally you should start off probably by building the burst. Being that tanky's not... I mean, the Tiamat, helps for clearing, but... yeah. One of those games was hard to talk about. It's because how much is it gonna... Oh, Danny could be in a lot of trouble here. Ultimate comes out, but it's not enough. The Primordial Burst to get that kill. Looks like TFL want to look for this second Drake. They're gonna go for the gank. Takahashi being stunned up, potentially in a lot of trouble, but Vigar's on the way. Ult comes out. They're looking for the Braum. The Rengar's on the backline, putting a lot of damage in. Braum is already down though. Cullen comes out. Akil in trouble. Oh, tries to turn back onto Jinx. Actually gives up own life for some reason. Meanwhile, the Catfish getting the outplay. The attempted chase is going forwards. I just type will flash away from that one. They will give over the second Drake. Yeah, they tried in that one. The fact that they couldn't get the kill on the Rengar, jumped into their backline. The Akil died, kind of swung on the fight for them. They were just a bit too far behind. I suppose the good news is, you know, Tahm Kench is getting fairly far ahead of the Garen. Has got a kill on him. Has 2 plates. Well, actually, I suppose has just 1 plate over right now. I just type trying to put damage down into the Braum, but hey, that Braum, very tanky. Adrenaline now trading onto the Garen. Shield will be thrown out. Oh, might have walked too far, but no. Slows from the Lek. That he will stay safe. And Apple's jumping forward. So much damage into Freezy, but he's rooted up. Not much he can do. Already taken out. Now Akil will go down as well. It was a nice try from the TFL bot lane. They realised potentially they were about to get tower dove. Thought we need to try something here. But they don't get anything off the back half for it. They do both get taken out. Adrenaline and Maverick haven't really seen anyone else this game. A couple of jungle gang up towards that top lane, but not much else. It's going to be a bit of a shock, maybe, for Adrenaline to see this 7-1 Jinx, and Pineapples will just be taken out off the back half of that one. You know, Freezy just so incredibly fed right now. Double kill over to the Jinx. TFL are trying to do something on the back half, but Mario picks up 1. Adrenaline eats up the Vigard to give him a shield. Shield from the Garen. They are actually winning out on it. Trying to turn around onto Danny now with his Ivan. Adrenaline will probably take out Flashing to make sure he gets the heal, but it's not enough. And if we watch here, TFL actually electing to make sure that they kill all these minions and keep the inhib alive. I think at this point you're so far behind, you're better off just letting it die. Get those extra super minions. Yeah, the pressure on the map, it means you basically have none, but you know, the Jinx is so strong and you just need all that XP and all that gold that you can get. At the moment, I mean, how are you supposed to kill this Jinx? It's being protected by a Braum with Locket, and there's an Ivan as well that can protect and provide her heals. The only way it looks like right now that potentially she could die would just be a full burst combo from the Vigar. But hey, I mean, picks up a null magic mantle and suddenly that's not going to happen. Fell Adrenaline actually looking for the 1v1 against the Ivan. Danny, though, just walking away. Catfish in a bit of trouble here. We'll start to go for the trade against the Ivan. Alt is used Abyssal Voyage. But he's straight into the waiting arms of Freezy. Freezy will pick up that kill. And this Jinx is just too far ahead at this point. Yeah, there's not too much to say. Null8 probably going to run this one down. What does this mean for the standings when, if Null8 win this game? I mean, it does mean that Null8 will have sole possession of second spot. Right now, Oh, but there's an attempted engage. Tidal Wave comes over the wall. So does the ult from the Volley Bear. Pineapples is just being forced back by the Brom. They almost get Freezy, but they're not able to get him in the end. Pineapple's in a lot of trouble on the Lucian, will go down, and they don't manage to get everyone. They don't manage to get anyone at all from the side of Null8. It was the desperation play. They knew that they had to try. I could tell Null8 are willing to just run the game down. Oh, Freezy actually will get taken out. It won't really buy them any time because Rengar does a ridiculous amount of tower damage. It did get nerfed, but with the Herald as well, sure, people might be respawning, but they actually start to back off and leave the Rengar. They get a flash out from the Cat. Cat jumping onto the Lucian, and he's just taken out instantly. It's just a disgusting amount of damage, and then what can TFL do? What can TFL do? Hey, they tried. They haven't given up. Um, they know it's probably over. It's a 13,000 gold lead right now. That's a 3-item Jinx comparatively to your 1-item, not even full boots yet Lucian. And Ritagash's found in the jungle. Tidal Wave will be used just to try and keep the Volley Bear alive a little bit longer. You can tell there's not much point in hyping up these trades right now because the Jinx is just completely okay. Looking for a little bit of CC onto the Jinx. It does go down, but, you know, they can't follow it up. They managed to escort the Volley Bear back to safety, though. It's something. Gold lead 12.5k right now. Null8's just... I mean, at this point, they probably should just run in together, kill all 3 inhibs, because TFL can't fight them in the double super minion waves, and they would just be able to very safely run it down to the end. It looks like they're going to go for a bit more risky play. That's a stun onto the Jinx. Jinx is in a lot of trouble. Skymorph can't use the shield in time, and they do get the kill onto the Jinx. And TFL still in the game. Ice Skip's coming in now, though. On the Rengar, he's looking for the kill on the Vigar. Saved by the Chomp from the Catfish. That's all the inhibs down. N8 probably will look for the end here. Next tower down. Ice Skip looking for jumps. So much damage from this Rengar. Nice block on the Tidal Wave from Skymorph. N8 just playing it kind of slow. The ult coming in from the Jinx. Won't hit onto anyone important. Takahashi taken out by the leap from the Rengar. The Rengar leaping in again. Fish is down. And it's just... It's so brutal right now. Danny in a bit of trouble is actually knocked up. Will get taken out. TFL managing to defend that push, but they don't actually have the damage here to stop the minions. I think the minions are just gonna break the tower. Look at all the super minions coming in. The tower's already down. Can they even stop the super minions ending? There's 20 minutes in the game, and they might struggle. Hey, if you want to look on the bright side, you're going to get a hell of a lot of golden XP for the next about 30 seconds before N8 come back with... Yep, they just choose the surrender. I can't blame them for that one, you know. It feels too... I mean, it was a nice try from TFL. Really good to have them in the league. They do have one more game left to play, so, you know, they can play for a bit of fun. They're going to be playing Crescent Solari at some point. They can try and get some wins on board just to show, look, we are a good team. Maybe we didn't have the best showing, but we have the potential there, and you could see that they had potential in a lot of their plays. I think a lot of unlucky plays there as well that just didn't go in their favor. Bit of difference, could entirely flip a game. But anyway, that's 2-0 for NSG in Niflheim and a 2-0 for Null8. We will probably be back later for Girl versus LPM. That should be a really interesting one. They're two of the longest standing team league. And hey, I mean, it's heavily girl favored, but you never know. LPM might be able to pick up a game against them, which would really put Girl in a horrible spot. Looking forward to the playoffs. Definitely want to come watch that one. 7 PM UK time, so that's 4 hours away. Hope I'll see you all there.